Hey there folks, we're doing something a little bit different today. I didn't stream this, so you guys are the first to see. This is some casual duo grinding with a paladin in Alterac Mountains with Death Ray and Dragon Gun action. I had to grind up to get to 37, Broken Tooth, Monstrous War Axe, Ravager, and Max Savage Strikes. 37 is a great level. I'm going to do some commentary after the fact so I can be a bit more thorough with that. I hope you enjoy this one, let's get into it. Alright, let's start this off by popping off an aim shot on our first enemy right here. It's kind of rare that I use Aspect of the Hawk, but, well, we're going to make the most use out of it. Right now I'm going to get a little bit less threat with a Feigned Death. A Dead Zone shot here, a Raptor Strike there. And since I dropped my threat, my Paladin was easily able to take aggro on that mob, and I am able to get into position. Freely able to move, so that I can pop off this aim shot on the next target. But of course we never want to stop moving. As a hunter, we can stutter step towards the next target, and always be in range of something to shoot. Ideally, that is. Now, you may have noticed that I've got both a Dragon Gun and a Death Ray on me, and we're going to see both in action. I do want to show you guys the Death Ray in PvP, but it can be used to delete the occasional ad. And, of course, the Dragon Gun has a great place here. In fact, let's use it right now. Let's see how it looks. So, this here is the Dragon Gun, and it functions similarly to Bladestorm on the Ravager. That is, you channel the Dragon Gun itself, but each tick is actually a separate direct damage conal AoE attack. So, given that, each tick could potentially crit. Like with Bladestorm, Bladestorm is the channeled spell that fires off the whirlwind every few seconds when the Ravager procs. But the whirlwind is actually what does the damage. The Bladestorm is just what generates the ticks. So the Dragon Gun functions much like that. We'll see the Death Ray here in a second. Now, since I've got the pet macro set up, I can command it to Lightning Breath on just the right target, and since we got them close to each other, let's pop off a little bit of multi-sync, and hop in close for a good Raptor Strike right there. Now, here's the Death Ray, but check this out. You see that? So, the Death Ray also functions in a somewhat counterintuitive way. You see, you could start channeling it, but it only goes off on your target at the moment that it finishes channeling. So, you can't select a target and then deselect everything, and then expect it to go off. No, you gotta target what you intend to hit with it when the channeling is finished. But the good news is, this means that you can change your target at a moment's notice until you're done channeling it. Now, questing with a paladin is actually quite convenient because, well, they make fantastic supports. We have mobility, they have tankiness, and, you know, they've got their Blessing of Protection, their Blessing of Wisdom. They have very mana efficient heals, and, well, if you remember from episode 17, we sure got quite a lot of grinding in without any buff to our mana regeneration, but now, now that we have Blessing of Wisdom, it's going to buff our already impressive mana regeneration. Now, we got a good opportunity for multi-sync there, but I'm going to feign this guy off. It seems that our paladin hodged this fellow, which gave us a good opportunity for a Raptor Strike, but I wing-quipped instead. Unfortunately, I was unable to get the multi-sync off there, but that's fine because in the meantime, we've only been auto-shooting, and that means our mana regeneration has been going. And the more mana that we have, the better. So, that ogre just swung at me, and our paladin just swung at him. So, let's pop off a scatter shot there. It'll last the longest. And you know, you gotta play around the enemy swing timers and your allies' swing timers, because that's how you get the most out of your abilities. Unfortunately, I was just a little bit too close for the aim shot to get off, and hang on, took aggro, got a toggle off Cheetah, but we got it. We're just gonna get a little bit of multi-sync off on these two? Nah, probably not. There's not enough time. But that's okay. We're going to try it on the next mobs, who are, well, they're waiting for us to shoot them. They're just sitting there, waiting for the right time. That guy's hodged, and is it just me, or was that pretty quick for a hodge to come off cooldown? Do paladins have talents to reduce the cooldown time of their hodge? Well, in any case, we've got the multi-sync off on those two guys, and our mana is looking kind of low. So I'm just going to... I can't feign these guys off, but I can cheetah away from them, and I toggle it off just in time to run in for the Raptor Strike. Or sorry, rather the auto attack, the white swing, because I'm out of mana. So since we're out of mana, well, we can't stop. We have stutter stepping, we have auto shot, and we have growl. And that's all we really need to keep moving while our paladin goes ahead and, well, I guess he doesn't really need to drink. I'm only going to use white swings, or shots at the moment. White swings and shots at the moment, because I want the mana regeneration to get going. And those two are in a great position. We might have gotten a dead zone shot there, but no, I'm going to wait for now to get the multi-sync off, and now we're up at like 40% mana, and it's pretty good. And since we're here, I'll drop a Frost Trap and go about for another multi-shot. Great position, and we're still looking okay on the mana. A little bit low, but not quite as low as we were before. But we're not stopping, nope. We've got some more stuff to shoot here, so we're going to shoot it. Our paladin got yet another Hajj off, and that's good for us. But it's also good for him, because, well, these mobs are gonna outrun him, unless we pop off the concussive shot, which we just did. Did not need to run back in there, and therefore did not need to toggle off Cheetah, but that's how it worked. Now, you should always try to toggle Cheetah on after enemy weapon swings if possible. Or, you know, before that happens. But if you do so afterwards and you're almost out of range, well, you can make the most of your movement increase to get out of range sooner and avoid taking that second hit. But of course, you do need to be far enough away. Let's close in on this new target here, give it a good Raptor. Unfortunately, that was a crit, and it's going to be really bad for our threat, but it seems our paladin is on top of it, oddly enough. Let's get off never mind. I was going to say, let's get off a good multi-sync, but... see that? I should have waited just a second longer, and perhaps I could have gotten the multi-sync off there. I was jumping the gun, or jumping the crossbow, as it were. But that's alright, we'll keep going with the next target, and we'll get a good multi... Never mind. The stuff's dying too fast. You want to bring it into range of the next one sooner. That way we can really get on top of the multi-sync. We can make the most of the ability. Here we go. Here's a good 2-target multi-shot, and we can keep moving on to the next target because we never stop. Gotta go fast, like Sanic. So, this thing's still running back towards us. Our paladin has it, no problem. We can ignore it. We're gonna stay focused on this one, and we're gonna have our pet run over to the next one. But we're certainly not going to leave that mob over there. We're gonna bring it closer so that we can multi-sync on both of these guys again. Nice multi-shot crit right there. Let's get a good Raptor off on new target and feign that guy off, because we do not want the aggro. We want aspect of the cheetah. We want to go follow our pet around. And let me actually stick with my pet here. I gotta keep on top of these guys, cause see, they run out of range, and I was not fast enough on the aimed shot. I was fast enough to toggle Cheetah off, not that it mattered since I parried the blow, but let's get a good Goblin Dragon gun off right here. Oh, it's beautiful. You only really need 2 targets to justify the use of it. It tends to do more damage than the Death Ray overall, as long as you have 2 targets. But 3 targets is even better. And it's also nice for the multi-shots, because you can dash in after your multi-shot, and it's a 10-second channeling and a 10-second cooldown in your multi. You can weave it in between. So let's scatter that one right there, and how about a Death Ray on the target that's alive and well? Not anymore, and a Raptor Strike to tear that other one up. Alright, we're going to continue to keep moving on here. We popped off the auto shot, aimed auto, And look at how much damage he took. He's almost dead already, and in fact he's dead now. But we're not going to stop. We're going to keep moving. We got the aim shot off just in time there, and we toggle Cheetah off and back on between the weapon swings so that we can, well, so that we can make the most use of our of the timing and the speed. There's a new target down here, and it's away from the other one, so we're gonna pull it up in this direction. Oh, careful! Don't want to face away from the intended target. They're close together, so good for multi-sync. Right now. And we're going to circle strafe around these guys and get to the next target. I'm going to finish that one off while my pet flaps over there. And we've got it started. He's on me, but I've got a growl off. And it's too late for him now. That's all you need your pet to do as MM. You just need it to hold that mob for a second so that you can get your burst combo off. And when you've got it, well, there you go. You're done with that mob and you can move on to the I was distracted, I'm sorry. I suppose it doesn't matter since I got dazed anyway, but just remember to toggle that Cheetah off at the right time. Nice aim shot crit, almost 600 right there, and nice Raptor Strike crit right there. See, that's the power of lethal shots in combination with Savage Strikes. Until you get Killer Instinct, you only have 5% crit on your ranged attacks, but you have a whole whopping 20% crit on your melee, so you can get off some really nice combos like aimed auto Raptor if it's right up next to your face. This is a great time for multi-sync, so we're going to get that off, and we're going to dash in for a little Raptor Strike right here. Hello there, new mob. Would you mind staying somewhere convenient for me? Thank you. Here we go. It's on my pet, so I can get another dead zone shot off. That was a nice 281 dead zone shot crit. Got a good white swing off, and we're going to keep doing the white swings. We're going to keep swinging at the melee and shooting at the range. Because we can do that. Because we're hunters, and that's how the mechanic works. That's the no mana way of doing things. If we did have mana to spend, if we were bothering with mana to spend, well, then we would have had some dead zone shots going on. Right now, we've got these two mobs headed towards each other. Nice time for multi-sync, and a Raptor Strike on top of that. Should kill this guy right now. Nice. And we're going to keep moving up this way, and we're going to keep pulling these guys along. Now let me show you a little bit of aggro juggling. My pet taps this mob a couple of times, but I do get a growl off too, so I expect to take aggro about now. Yep, but that's not going to stop us from getting the aim shot off. Luckily our paladin has hodged this mob, and, well, he can take it from here. Now my pet has been hitting this mob for a while, has gotten a growl off, and I did feign death, so we're not going to take aggro on this guy until he's dead. One growl needed, and a little bit of DPS on top of that. So, this guy is, well, he's going to run towards us, and our paladin really needs to stop dropping consecration in such places. I was going to drag this other mob back in here, but alas, our paladin took aggro a little bit too early. That's alright, we can just finish this guy off with a boop, and Cheetah our way to the next mob. I'm going to open on this fellow with an auto, aimed, auto, and how about a Raptor too? And as you can see, that Raptor Strike sure hits pretty hard now that we've got 1 point in Savage Strikes. We're about to get the second point, and, well, that's gonna make it even more reliable for us. So, let's bring these guys in close for the multi-sync. I do not have the mana yet, but we do have Wisdom and Natural Mana Regeneration ticking. And as you can see, we did get the multi off, but unfortunately it missed on the secondary target. That's fine. We're going to keep moving along, and we're going to try to let our mana regenerate just a little bit. I'm going to use a Death Ray here instead of using normal abilities. Smite! And we're going to, hang on, let me tap this guy with the pet. There we go. That'll get rid of him, and hang on, I gotta get a growl on this guy too. There we go. Now we can follow our pet along. Our mana regeneration has been ticking for a while, as has Blessing of Wisdom, and now we're all the way back above 50%. Just about. We were almost at 50%. So both of these guys are in the consecration. I do want to keep them there, but I also want some dead zone shots going on. So let's bring this guy a little bit closer. Come on. And dead zone shot. Perfect. So if you got two of these guys and you want to keep them in close range, that's the perfect time to pull something else and bring it close to you too. Like I said long ago in Shadow Glen, well, the Cheetah Hunter is not giving a single F. Alas, it does get my pet killed this time, but, you know, under more positive circumstances, it won't do that. Our paladin has gotten a Hajj off. We have recovered. The recovery time was only about, well, it was less than a minute. So, not too big of a deal, but still something that you do want to consider. The pet is alive and well and happy again, so we're gonna keep him that way if we can help it. But we also want to keep testing our limits. We want to see how far we can go. And so we're going to pull all the things like we were doing before. Now, I've got these guys coming in, and it just seems like the perfect time for the multi-sync and the dead zone shot simultaneously, bringing the stuff into position and shooting it into the dead zone. That is some prime multi-shot memery right there. I'm going to mend my pet up just a little bit since I've got a decent amount of mana, and now we'll keep going. We'll also put up Cheetah since, remember, if you use any skill that uses mana, it'll interrupt your natural mana regeneration, so ideally you do want to combo your stuff together. Like right there, I used Raptor Strike and then I put Cheetah back on again. And that is going to limit the amount of time that our mana regeneration is interrupted. So that's another reason that I don't really like to use Hunter's Mark. It's just going to mess with our mana regeneration. Not unless you, say, use it immediately after you use a skill on the last mob. Unfortunately, we did bring them into the right position for a multi-sync, but the first mob died a little bit too quickly. Still, that's alright. If it dies too quickly, well, maybe we could have acted sooner, or maybe it was just right. That's up to us to figure out later. But right now, we're going to growl on this guy, and we got him just in time for the aim shot to go off. Oddly, aim shot can be out-aggroed by growl sometimes, but only just by a little bit, just by enough. Now, here might have been a really nice spot to use multi-sync, or, you know, dead zone shot, or both. But I was a little bit distracted. We're going to, we just feign death and pop off the multi-shot afterwards. And we'll get a Raptor Strike in there too. And now we'll move on to the next mobs, where we'll attempt the same thing but better. We'll always do the same thing but better. We'll always seek to improve. I got the growl off, and our pet has tapped that a couple of times, so we can get a few auto shots off. And right now seems like a great time for an aim shot to finish that mob off, and right now, how about a little bit of multi-sync? A growl has gotten off on that mob, so it's got plenty of aggro, or rather my pet has plenty of aggro on it. And we can just shuffle around him towards our next target. Perhaps a little bit late, but not unfashionably so. The growl was resisted, and that's unfortunate, but if you notice there, I did attempt to use Scatter Shot and Raptor Strike at the same time. Now, you could probably get away with that if the batching allows. There is a little bit of leeway, so you should attempt to take advantage of that. But it was parried that time, so it wouldn't have broken it anyway. Iron here is useful for iron grenades and also for goblin landmines, both of which are fantastic explosives. So if you do happen to see any iron, I have to recommend picking it up. And in the meantime, we're going to have our pet help out this horde over here, because, well, it's kind of an olive branch. Our burb's neck is the olive branch, because we don't want to have the enemy think of us as an enemy. We want to try and be peaceful while we're grinding. That way we'll be in the ideal position to do things. Unfortunately, I was dazed here, but that's alright because we're in just about the right position for the dead zone shot. In fact, we fired that multi-shot behind us. Now that that's done, we'll feign them all off and move on out. Hitting the target with high HP was not necessarily a good idea because it did not have a lot of threat on it. But that's alright because, well, our paladin chunked it and gained aggro right back. And in the meantime, we're moving on to the next mob. We've already sent our pet ahead of us. And since we have a lot of mana, we'll pop off an aimed auto, and have it another auto, while we're at it. Let's feign this guy off. Let's drop our aggro on both of these guys. And multi-sync right here, while we send our pet at the next mob. These guys should pull onto me at any point. Yeah, here we go. One auto shot crit is all it took, but an auto Raptor was all it took to take him down. And since our pet has aggro on that guy, now that I've growled on him, well, not that it matters since our paladin used Hajj, but it's stuck on our pet for now. Our paladin can take this one instead. And let's bring these guys in close for a good dead zone shot. Excellent. A good old multi-sync right there. Multi-sync dead zone shot. We still got 2 targets here, so might as well pop off another multi while they're there. If you can stall for time to get another multi off on 2 targets, well, hit the high HP target over the low HP one then. And that'll be a good idea. There aren't any mobs around here anymore, but we can stutter step towards the next one while we kill the thing behind us. In the meantime, let me get a growl off here. There we go. And we'll move alongside our pet. Never mind, I just took aggro. But that's alright. We've got Cheetah, we got stutter stepping, I popped off the conch shot. And now we're going to... I was a little bit late on the Cheetah. That's okay though. That's okay though, because I'll leave them with a frost trap and pop off the multi-shot to almost finish that guy off. One more auto shot does it. And in the meantime, well, we've dropped a frost trap there, so we might as well fight from the other side of it. And we're going to keep fighting from the other side of it. Ah man, the ranged melee attack was able to daze us through the frost trap. The frost trap is still up, it's just a little bit faded. So we got that off for a moment. Long enough to get a couple more shots on this guy. But short enough that we could bring them in close for the multi-sync. And there's not enough time to get another multi-sync off here, not enough time to get another dead zone shot off. But let's pull these two together and we can pop it off on them instead. And there we go. Plenty of damage and all dropped using Feign Death. Feign Death is a very convenient aggro drop, don't you think? The random reset. Guess we better ping those a little bit more often. Anyway, we've moved on here. We've just landed a dead zone shot on 2 mobs by bringing a third in, like we did before. And we're gonna cheetah our way towards the next mob. Our Blessing of Wisdom fell off, but I'm sure our paladin will fix that very soon. Let's feign this guy off. Our pet has growled on that, and we're gonna wing clip it so our pet can kite it. We're going to bring these both in, and how about a multi-sync right there? And how about a death ray while we're at it? Smite! I toggle Cheetah off just in case there's one frame where he can get the melee off at the same time I get the death ray off, but it doesn't happen. And in the meantime, we're gonna keep pulling ahead here. I've got my pet on that mob in the distance. I'm bringing my pet over here, and we're gonna bring all these guys in good and close. And I've scouted that guy so that I could set up for the multi-sync dead zone shot. But that's not exactly sufficient. I have aggro on all these guys, so I'm not worried. I'm just gonna pop the dragon gun. And unfortunately, this is what dragon gun failure looks like. It does not put the dragon gun on CD, but it did act as a disorient effect, and therefore the mobs ignored me for the duration. So you can actually click the failure off. It's weird like that. And I do recommend it because it deals very heavy damage to you. But notably, it did drop all my threat temporarily, so that's why my pet died right there. We might have come out of that just fine if it worked properly. As you can see, all the bodies are still here, so we did clean that up afterwards. But it did take a minute, because, well, we had to recover. The latest mob, the closest one, is quite far away from the last one. We did stutter step a little bit over here, not enough. But there wasn't too much that we could do about it, other than killing these guys in a different order. We're going to keep gathering stuff up with our pet while we take care of these guys. We just got them set up for the multi-sync just in time while we finish that other one off. And they're in the right position for yet another one, but it didn't happen. We just fired off the auto shots instead. The white hits, and that's it. That's all you need. I got the aim shot off on this fellow, and he's in a nice spot to, I toggled Cheetah on instead of off. That was my mistake. Force of habit and all. We'll just feign this guy off, and he'll walk away from us, rather than us having to run away from them. I got a nice little multi-shot off right there, but I'll toggle Cheetah off, get an auto Raptor combo in, and we'll keep doing our melee range thing on these next mobs. We got this one thing in melee, and another thing at range. And those two are in a great position to multi-shot, so I'm going to pull my pet back over here, and pop off the multi-shot. If they had slightly more even HP, then I might have used a dragon gun there, but I did something else that was kind of noteworthy there. Did you notice that I popped off the Raptor Strike before Feign Death? You may have noticed this, but Feign Death seems to reset your auto shot and auto attack cooldowns, so right after Feign Death is the time to pop off a multi-shot, aim shot, and if you want to attack, you should do so before you pop off Feign Death. So, anyway, we're moving on here. I've got Growl on that mob, so I'm going to do the thing where I stutter step and follow my pet to the next mob. And now that they're together, we can multi-sync up here. We'll bring them, get it in range of our paladin. Let's get off a good scatter shot on that one there, and maybe pop off a dead zone shot right here. There we go. We're certainly moving along at a nice pace here. We're out of range, so we can use Cheetah to continue on to the next mob. And I'm going to bring this guy over to the next mob. Oh, I took aggro there and toggled Cheetah off just a little bit too late. But it's okay because I didn't really have to move anywhere anyway. So as long as you don't really have to move anywhere to begin with, you're fine. You see, I was just in the right position that I wanted to be in, and we're fine. That time I got dazed out of the blue without need for Cheetah to daze me by itself. You know, if the random dazes weren't in the game, I wouldn't mind the daze from Cheetah, but the random daze, that ruins my day. You know? I'm sure everyone feels that way, but if it were a less RNG mechanic, it might be fun to deal with. Anyway, let's bring these guys up this way. I tried to scattershot that one in order to get into position for a dead zone shot, but our paladin knocked it out. That's okay because I brought another one over here for the dead zone shot opportunity, and set my pet at the next one over there. Now these two are still pretty close, and too close for the dead zone shot, but I do have the death ray off cooldown, so I can insta-gib one of these guys. We're not done though, because even though we're out of mana and HP, our pet still has HP, and we have Blessing of Wisdom, so we're just going to continue along despite that. And I'm going to bring these guys close to each other and multi-sync. But I'm also going to Raptor Strike, Wing Clip, and Aspect of the Cheetah on the next weapon swing, so that we can move past him, and they're in position for yet another multi-sync right about here. But they're not dead yet, so right about now is a nice time for the Dragon Gun, since they have pretty even HP. Like I said, you only need 2 targets really for it to do more than the Death Ray. And it's pretty good, the Dragon Gun. It's a no mana AoE attack. Anything you can do while your mana is regenerating, you can take advantage of it. Let's feign this guy off. We got the growl off, so he's got plenty of aggro, or my pet has plenty of aggro on him now. We're gonna pop off this multi-shot while they're both here. That one still is on my pet, but this one's on me. I'm sure that a paladin will take care of it eventually. Come on, take this one off me. Maybe Hajj it? There we go. Now, I suppose it's in the fine position for the dead zone shot anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And that was a very nice, well-timed dead zone shot on 3 targets. And it's exactly the sort of thing that we want to look for. We got the white hit off there, and we're going to put up aspect of the cheetah once again, so that we can follow our pet effectively. We have high HP, our pet is high HP, so we're able to move along here. We're able to keep moving. Now that these two are in range, I'm going to, well, sure, why not? Let's pop off the multi-shot, feign it off, and we'll get the 3-target multi-shot on this one in a second. Here we go. See, we got time for that. As long as you've got time for it, you know, you might as well. Pop it off whenever you want to. Rank 1 multi-shot is infinitely sustainable. Unfortunately, since I'm out of mana, there was no way for me to do the dead zone shot there. But I can bring my pet back to me here, and we'll bring this other one in range. Now we have 3 targets again, and now we can get the multi-shot off on 3 targets, like we originally intended. We are looking a little bit low on mana still, but we still have half HP on our pet and on us, so we can keep moving. And you see, this is the fun of being a hunter. You know, you can just keep on moving as long as you take care of the aggro and all that good stuff. Let's get a growl off on this guy. That was actually resisted, unfortunately. So I'll pop off Feign Death just so that we can get rid of the aggro. But we'll bring these guys back to Consecration, where they can take a little bit more damage and our paladin can get a little bit more threat. We've only got 2 targets here, but that's fine because we can still get the dead zone shot. Dead zone, Raptor, auto shot, auto attack, combo. You know how it works. Alternating attacks while we're tanking something in melee and keeping something at range. Melee weaving is where you dash in to smack something with your auto attack between auto shots, or dash in to attack something with Raptor Strike. But when it comes to alternating attacks, you can be a little bit more efficient. You do not need to move anywhere. You just swap targets all the time, and that's alternating attacks. You're still quote unquote weaving your auto attack between your auto shot, or vice versa, but the positioning is ideal for you to continuously do it as soon as your weapons come off their swing timers. So these two are together. Let's pop off the multi-shot while I do not have aggro, and let's bop one of these guys with a scatter in the Consecration. Got this guy with a Raptor Strike crit, because those Raptor Strike crits are awesome. My pet is aggro there, so I was able to cheetah away. And we're just going to shuffle a little bit over here while we're shooting it. So, we're on to another fight here. We're going to growl on that guy, but unfortunately the auto shot did crit, so I'm going to pop Feign Death, and we're going to wing clip him so that our paladin can catch up, but he already popped a Hajj off, so I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. We're going to bring these guys in close, maybe see if we can get a multi-sync off, but that one died just a little bit too quickly. That's alright, we still got 2 targets to multi-shot, and one of them it just ate the big Raptor Strike crit, so there was nothing much that he could do but die. We're going to keep following our pet here with aspect of the cheetah. Another auto shot crit, took aggro there, and you know that lethal shots, mortal shots combo is going to give you a lot of threat, because your crits are going to hit hard and they're going to hit pretty often. But that's alright, because we have Feign Death, and we can continuously continue to stop continuing. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We got another tap crit, a crit on that tap right there, and we're gonna bring these guys in good and close, but the auto attack was enough to finish that one off, so there's no need to pop out the multi-shot. I'm using white swings here because I do want the mana to regenerate. We do have Blessing of Wisdom, and we do have the mana regeneration ticking right now. I don't really want this guy in close, but it's alright. We have the opportunity for the multi-sync now. Our mana is still not very high, but we took advantage of the situation while it was there, and we're going to keep comboing our mana using abilities together so that we can take advantage of the mana regeneration. Like I said earlier, if you happen to have multiple abilities that use mana, don't wait to use them. You know, you should pop off that multi-shot right after Feign Death so that your mana regeneration continues sooner. You know, that aspect of the Cheetah immediately after Feign Death, because the later you use it, the more time it's going to take for your mana to start regenerating, and that's exactly what you want to start doing. Now right there, I could have eaten the Daze and not toggled Cheetah off, and that would have enabled me to keep aspect of the Cheetah active as I also killed that guy. But we did waste a little bit of mana regeneration there, and well, we're gonna suffer a little bit of mana loss for it. Now I was unable to get the auto shot and Raptor Strike combo off right there, so I was unfortunately stuck in melee a little bit longer. Put Cheetah on a little bit too soon. Never mind about that, we're going to continue on right now. We took a little bit of a bio break, so we're fully recovered, both of us, IRL and in-game, and we're gonna try and chain pull for as long as we possibly can. That is, if our Raptor Strike will actually go off now. Unfortunately, it seems that there seems to be some kind of batching issue with Raptor Strike, and it's causing some kind of problem with making it not go off in time. Anyway, we just booped that guy to death and cheetah'd on past the other one. And our pet's gonna go ahead of us and grab the next thing. The next two things, actually. Since my dive is off cooldown, I did use the attack command once again just to make it go off. We're gonna toggle Cheetah off just so that we can get in for the Raptor Strike. Our paladin has hodged that one, so we don't need to worry about being hit by it. And unfortunately it did die before we could get the 3 target dead zone shot off, but that's alright. It's okay. That's always okay. Because if it ain't okay, then it's not okay, and that would not be okay. That would be bad. We had a new target respawn right there, so I used that as the primary for the multi-shot, and we're just gonna pop off the death ray on one random guy to insta-gib him, and in the meantime we'll keep on moving on. Since I've got my dragon gun off cooldown, I do want to use that too. We did just have a bio break, so naturally everything is off cooldown, and we can use it all. We can use it all to our heart's content. Come on, Raptor Strike. There we go. Like I said, for some reason there seems to be some kind of batching issue or something with the Raptor Strike, and you gotta wait for it to go off if you run in on something. That thing is hodged, but our multi-shot is on cooldown, so we can't really do anything about that. But it doesn't matter, we'll finish these guys off in melee, and we did pop off the multi-shot into the dead zone anyway, so it's not like we failed to get it off. Alright, we're here with another fight. We're gonna initiate on this here mob on the hill. And we're just gonna get a growl off on him, and oh, I accidentally toggled Cheetah on instead of off. That was a force of habit. This is why I always keep Cheetah on, because otherwise I end up toggling it on. Anyway, I just dropped my threat on that guy so that we can keep moving along here. And we're going to let our paladin smack him. It's wing clipped so our paladin can catch up and even take threat off the pet. Unfortunately, a little bit too late for the dead zone shot on 3 targets, but that's okay. Our paladin can bring that other guy into the consecration and will get the multi-sync off in the meantime. And since that guy is very, very low, we'll immediately head towards the next target. Because if you do not have another target in your sights as your first one is dying, well, you're not grinding fast enough. Grind faster, peasant. That ranged melee attack was pretty irritating, but we're going to feign off our threat here. Our pet does have plenty of threat on that one, so we're going to use it. We're going to take advantage of that. We're going to pop off the multi-shot and send our pet on the next target. We just took aggro on that one, so let's scatter shot it and swap targets to this one right here. Now, we're close to this one, but I'm going to toggle Cheetah off, Raptor Strike, and toggle Cheetah back on, and now we can continue on killing these guys. Unfortunately, I was dazed right there before I could toggle Cheetah off once again, but I do have the dragon gun, so we're going to use it. Fiery death. I love it. I love every single bit of it. Now we're going to keep moving on and keep grinding away here. we just got to growl off on that mob, so like usual, we send our pet at a new target, auto-shot the one that's on the way, and our pet takes no damage from that one while we whittle it down its HP. We're going to pull our pet back here so that we can get it in close, and I'm going to scatter shot right here just so that we can set up for the multi-sync. Unfortunately, that was just quite not enough because my pet stopped for some reason, but I'm going to drop off a frost trap right here, and we're going to pop off another multi-shot as soon as we can. And how about a Raptor Strike on the closest target anyway? Now that one's the furthest one, so I'm just going to pop off the auto shot there, auto attack there, and this new target is in range now because I brought my pet back, so we're going to swap to that one and keep attacking. There are only a couple of NPCs over here, but it's still a nice little spot to go if if you're in the area, and you don't really lose any DPS by staying on the move. So as long as you keep on top of moving back once you've got all the mobs on you, well, you're gonna be fine. Perhaps I could have swapped to the other target there and finished that other one off with a multi-sync, but it's okay. We're gonna head back up here and attack these guys in the cave because these are like the only people left. Our paladin unfortunately dropped a consecrate outside the cave, but I suppose that was actually in the right position because, well, we just brought them all up here. I feigned this guy off so that he's on my pet in the consecrate for as long as it happens to last, and I'm not really sure if it lasts past the graphical effect on the ground. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm Alliance, so I don't really care about fighting paladins. But in any case, we've got this here mob, and hang on. There we go, my paladin friend took aggro there, and I was able to get away in between the weapon swings. We're going to bring this third target in close for the multi-sync right now. On just 2 targets, unfortunately, but what can you do? We're gonna keep pulling more stuff here. I've got my... I'm just going to drop a frost trap right here, which unfortunately does reset my pet if he's even if he's on his way to the next target. But that's how the macro works at this time because, well, Feign Death is absolutely broken. So I make my pet stop him at the very edge of the frost trap because due to spell batching, you can walk a little bit into frost trap and not receive the debuff just yet. So if you make something stop right on the edge of it, it'll take time. It'll take its time to get the debuff, and then you can take full advantage of the frost trap. Now there are batching timers too, and I probably should pick one of those up, and I do recommend one if they do happen to exist. But in any case, we're just kind of guessing right now. We're going between weapon swings. We're doing all sorts of stuff like that. So this guy is going down. He's got a Hajj and a scatter on him. The scatter just broke, but our paladin finished it off. I was trying to scatter him just outside the conch. Sorry, not the conch. The consecrate. I was thinking conch shot. I was trying to scatter him just outside the consecrate for the multi-sync for the dead zone shot. But the mob died a little bit too quickly. My pet needs to just grab this other mob right here, and we can hook him up for the multi-sync real quick. I can finish that guy off, pop off the Raptor Strike, bring this guy into the consecrate, and we'll just stick in melee right here. We might as well. All right, we're gonna open on this new target here with a little bit of auto, aimed, auto. And my multi did not go off because I was mousing over the other target all the way over there. And I was distracted by that, so I failed to get the thing off in time. Cheetah, that is, but it's okay, we don't need to toggle off Cheetah. We have Feign Death and Freezing Trap, and our Paladin has a Hajj. So we're going to bring both of these guys in good and close for the multi-sync. Unfortunately, it missed on the secondary, or the primary actually. And we'll just toggle off Cheetah, or sorry, toggle it on between weapon swings to move on. Now this here is a very long segment of grinding, perhaps the longest segment in the entire video, so I hope you enjoy this chain pulling. So here we go, we're just going to get the auto Raptor combo off on that mob and pop off Cheetah to get going faster. And as you can see, the auto Raptor combo is extremely powerful for insta-gibbing things that are in your face. And in fact, let's toggle Cheetah off here before we get dazed. We first had to remind our paladin friend of the wisdoms because we need the mana regeneration. We need to keep it going. That thing has a growl on it, so we can do our stutter stepping thing and follow alongside our pet. We did take aggro a little bit early here, but a little feign death will solve that problem. We'll finish that mob off with a couple of with one auto shot, and our paladin can take care of the rest. And let's get a little bit of multi-sync off in here. Unfortunately, it did miss the primary target, and the dragon gun has failed. Unfortunately, I let it go for a second there just to see if it did do any damage after all. But no, it only deals damage to you. Even though you're spewing fire in every single direction, it doesn't actually spew the fire. It only lights you on fire. Anyway, we do have these 3 mobs close together, so let's get the multi-sync off. No misses that time. And since our dragon gun was not put on cooldown by failure, because that's how engineering works, well, we can use it again to finish these 2 off. Now, the death ray, if someone stuns you or something during the channeling, well, it's not going to go off, and you'll only end up having damage to yourself instead of doing anything to anyone else. But the dragon gun is pretty cool. If it fails, well, you're a-okay. It's not on cooldown, and you have not wasted anything. So, I mean, I would say the death ray is pretty dangerous, but if you use it while your target is crowd controlled, or, you know, against mobs or something in the open world, that works. We're gonna get another multi-sync off in here, multi-sync and dead zone shot. And we got 3 targets here, and this one is in a great spot for the second one, but unfortunately we are out of mana for multi-shot, so I'm just gonna go in and pop off a death ray on this here target instead. Our paladin can take care of heals, I'm not concerned in the slightest. See, we got the lay on hands, we got insta-healed back up top, but of course lay on hands does remove all of your paladin's mana, so he's gonna be sitting without mana for a little while, but that does not mean we cannot continue on with our grinding. So we're gonna go ahead and hit this guy over here and see what we can do to make the most use out of our improved lay on hands talent. Now our pet has just taken aggro, but we only need our pet to hold aggro long enough for the aimed auto multi-auto combo. The multi-shot missed, but what can you do about that? We're gonna move on to the next target because there's no time for stopping. We popped off the auto shot, the aimed auto, no time for the multi, but we can get a good Raptor Strike off, which was unfortunately dodged. That's alright though, because we have Feign Death to get rid of that problem, and our paladin can take care of the rest. In the meantime, our pet has fetched this new mob for us, and there are no new targets, so we're gonna keep our eyes peeled for something new. There is something up there on the cliff, so let's send our pet up there and see about fetching that too. Boop. we were dazed there for a second, and hey, my loot disappeared. Huh, I wonder what that was about. Well, anyway, our pet has now fetched the new mob, so we can get these guys down here. By the way, if you're pre-casting on something, use aim shot. But if the fight has already started, or you know, if you expect it to start, say when your pet gets there, then use auto shot before your aim shot. I'm using auto shot a little bit early here, so that's not exactly ideal for my threat and for the positioning. It's more applicable to raiding, where say if the tank hasn't pulled the boss yet, you can start pre-casting aim shot. But if you're just a little bit late to the party, pop off the auto shot before the aim shot just to put it on cooldown. Anyway, we've got the good dead zone shot off here. There are repops behind us, but we'll worry about those later. For now, we're gonna grab these 2 guys in the cave and keep Aspect of the Cheetah up and running. We just took aggro here, but that's not gonna stop us from getting the aim shot off, and we're going to position these guys just right for the multi-sync. The lucky ICS proc was more than enough to get the positioning right, and we insta-give that boy with the Mongoose Bite, which we still have actually. So we're gonna keep moving on here. Hang on, this guy is these mobs are just a little bit too far away from each other for us to continue fighting both at the same time, but maybe we can never mind. There was not enough time for the dead zone shot or the multi-sync there, so we're gonna move on to the next target if we can. I'm going to feign this guy off so our pet can so this guy can chase our pet, and we can follow along and insta-give him with the auto shot crit. And in the meantime, our pet has gotten some aggro on this guy, a good growl, a little bit of DPS, so he's definitely going to die right now. Without us taking aggro once again. Our paladin does need to reapply wisdom, but I'm sure he'll take care of that in a second. In the meantime, we're going to follow along with our pet, use auto shot, and there's the blessing of wisdom, which is going to keep our mana regeneration good and healthy. We can just white swing on this guy because we do want the mana regeneration to keep going, and we were just a little bit early on the whole multi-sig thing, but that's okay because that guy's already close to death. The second one is also dying right now, and this third one is going down right now. And our pet, and us actually in the meantime, can move on to the next target while our paladin finishes off the last one there. We just took aggro there, and we do not have feign death, so I'm just going to scatter shot that one and kite it along with a little bit of concussive shot, auto shot, and let's send our pet up there. We've been getting lots of crits on this guy, and a little cheetah off, raptor, cheetah on will do it. Wax on, wax off. Or in this case, wax off, wax on. So as you can see, cheetah combat is actually really fun. We can be extremely mobile, more mobile than we would be with Hawk, and continue moving along. Let's Saga Cheetah off here for the Raptor, and that was just a little bit too early to put it back on. It was after a weapon swing, but luckily we didn't really need to worry about it because, well, we were dazed anyway, and we also were in just the right position to begin with. So if the daze does not matter, then really you've done nothing wrong. Our paladin will sit to drink for a minute here, but we cannot let that distract us as we do have our pet low on HP. Not anymore since our paladin popped off a heal right here. In any case, we did take aggro, and we're just going to white swing at this guy just while we're here, because we do want the mana regeneration to keep going. I did pop off a Raptor Strike there. That was kind of a mistake. But our paladin has popped a Dreamless Sleep Potion, which of course puts him to sleep but regenerates his mana and HP rapidly. And in the meantime, we're going to keep pulling on here. We're going to keep our mana regeneration going. Let's have our pet run it, flap at the next target while we come in here. Let's get a white swing off. That thing's hodged, so let's pop off Aspect of the Cheetah finally. We have a decent amount of mana now to work with for our stuff. So let's get the multi-sync off, and failed Raptor Strike since it missed, but we did get the wing clip off. And that'll help out. We stopped that thing just in time for the aim shot to go off, and that's exactly what you want to do with your pet as MM. Let's bring these guys in close for the multi-sync and dead zone shot. A good 330 Raptor Strike crit, and let's finish this off with a Death Ray. Oh, hang on. New target. Ah! No! Darn it! The Death Ray. Okay, that was something that you might have noticed already in Official Classic. Back on private servers, if you had something that you had to loot, well, the hitbox for the looting, the corpse, was a little bit late on that multi-sync there. But anyway, the hitbox for the looting was you just had to click on the corpse, but here in Official Classic you can actually click through living mobs in order to loot dead ones, because the hitbox for the lootable NPC is actually bigger. So that just caused my death ray to fail because I targeted a dead mob instead of the one that I intended to target, the full HP one that just happened to spawn at the right time. So just be aware of the hitbox on the lootable NPCs, or the lootable bodies, when you're using your death ray, and you should be okay. A nice 288 Raptor Strike crit to finish that one off, and we're gonna move this one along while our pet takes care of this. Let's bring these guys in good and close for the multi-sync. And never mind, actually, that one's quite dead. But we can pop off a scatter shot there because our pet is a little bit low on HP, and I do want to take aggro here. There we go. This thing's very close to me. One more hit, and Aspect of the Cheetah can go up. We're going to move along to the next target because that one is dead, and we cannot be out of combat for any amount of time because we are ADHD class. We are, this is ADHD class. Let's bring these two in good and close for the shot. Say cheese, boys. Let's feign that one off, and the nice auto shot crit certainly chunked it for most of its HP. Let's get another multi-shot off, and how about a Raptor Strike? Alright, so this has been going pretty well so far. There are a couple more ogres over here, so we'll pop off the auto shot through the cliff edge right there because that's how arrows work. And we do not have the focus for Growl at the moment, So I'm just going to kite this guy because I'm good and far away, and he's very low on HP. Alright, we're here with another fight. We're starting it up out here. We just stopped this guy just short for the aim shot to go off. Toggle aspect of the cheetah, pop off the Raptor Strike, and, well, that's that. Just a one mob pull, a little comboing there. Let's get the aim shot, the multi-shot off while those two are close together. Seems like a good idea. I suppose we could probably drop a concussive shot on that one, and multi-sync one more time. We gotta keep them together, gotta funnel them good and close. And since I just got dazed here, and unfortunately there's another spawn right there, or perhaps fortunately, as long as we can stay alive here. There are lots of mobs here that we want to bring in good and close, and let's bring these guys in. Hang on, I meant to send my pet over there, but I gotta take aggro first with the dragon gun. Now I can send my pet over there, we can take the fourth mob, and maybe get a new, some more multi-shot going off. But of course, that was perfectly serviceable. We got the multi-shot off with 3 targets, and we can finish this last one off with a death ray since it's now extra. It's no longer needed for our dead zone shots. But hey, we've got low HP, but our pet has high HP, and we have mana. So let's go pop off the aim shot on this guy over here, and of course we will get the burst combo off, feint him off, and then wing clip him so our paladin can continue damaging him on the way to the next target. Or, at least until he pulls aggro. Now, our pet has not fetched that second mob over there. I did put a scatter shot up there, but our paladin broke it while I was passing by, and I was dazed anyway, despite not having Cheetah. Our paladin did take aggro though, so that's all well and good. I forgive him, it is okay. As long as we get these guys good and close together for the multi-shot, at least until one of them dies, in which case, well, that's not good for my multi-sync, but it's serviceable. It is what we need to have happen because, well, we need them to be dead. That is what we're doing here. We're killing these ogre boys. So let's toggle Cheetah off, drop in for the auto Raptor combo, and continue on to the next target while our paladin finishes that last one off. Let's get the growl off on that mob, and send our pet up to that target just in time for the multi-sync. Our pet is low on HP now, so we do need to keep him out of harm's way. And in fact, let's get a scatter shot off on that guy while we multi-sync while they're passing by. Multi-shot did miss there, but that's not going to stop us from pulling these guys into range of each other and getting yet another multi-sync off. Our pet still has just enough HP to take 1 or 2 hits, so let me distracting shot here just to get him off my pet, and hopefully our paladin will heal our pet up very soon. Here he goes. Thank you. And now we can continue on. Just as soon as we're done finishing this mob off in the melee. I'm going to open on this fellow with an auto shot, and my pet's going to growl. It did get an auto attack crit, so this guy is not going to lose aggro on our pet until it's dead. Just in case, I will funnel behind the paladin so he can potentially intercept, but the mob is already dead, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to swap to this target here, and I'm going to concussive shot so that they're in range for the multi-sync. I did interrupt my multi-shot there for a second by not waiting long enough, so just be aware of that. I scattershot this fellow so that I can bring these guys both in range for a second multi-sync, but once again, I interrupt my multi-shot just a moment too soon. Again, the multi-shot does go off right here, but it does not chain to both targets, I don't think. Now, I'm pretty sure that I toggled Cheetah on at the right time, but maybe that was a batching thing and the attack hit me at the same time I put Cheetah up, and maybe that's how it worked. But in any case, we're gonna toggle Cheetah on after the second swing on this mob, and that way we can outpace it while we gather up some more enemies. Our paladin can come behind and finish this guy off, but we'll certainly try and get our multi-sync off right here. It did not quite go off because, well, the mob was already dead, but you could see that we did get kind of smacked from range there for a second there. That's not really something that you can help. It's kind of bad with worse latency, but our latency is pretty good. Anyway, we're moving on here to the next target. We are very low on mana now, and I don't really have any mana to use, so we're just going to stay focused on gathering more stuff up, and I'm going to wing clip this fellow so our pet it does not take so many hits as it flaps on over to the second mob that we want to hit, and we'll bring them both in good and close to each other. Now, I don't want this guy on me by himself. I do want to bring these guys over, so let's dead zone shot right here. I don't think that one went off because the guy was dead when the multi-shot went off, but oh well. We do have the dragon gun to help finish off these other two guys. As long as we have enough mana for the rank 1 for the rank 1 multi-shot, that's good enough. Rank 1 multi is pretty much infinitely sustainable. It's very, very low mana cost, but also very effective. It deals just as much damage as your auto shot, so it's a great ability. It's a great ability. Of course, you do want to be putting out your max rank multi-shot whenever possible in raiding because, well, you want to push your damage and use consumables to keep your mana up. But if you're doing this casually, you downrank your multi-shot and it'll be very, very effective, despite not being max rank. And of course, we also have the Death Ray here, which can be used to delete the occasional ad. Whoever said Sins of the Father was overpowered? You know, the trinket from Darkshore Mythic. Sure, we can use it to instantly perma-stun something and delete it from the game, but the Death Ray does that pretty well on its own too. But I guess the Death Ray doesn't work 100% of the time, does it? So maybe it is actually just a little bit overpowered, just a little bit. It might be inconvenient in PvP, being stunned forever. But that's not my concern. No, that's the concern of Red Team. Anyway, we've got another 3 mobs here who are going to be grouped up, and unfortunately this mob seems to be dead already. That's too bad. But we can get these guys off. Let's stick in melee for a moment since I can't feign these guys off. And we'll try and get a little bit of aggro spread out here. Seems that mob is on our paladin, so I was able to step back for the dead zone shot. And we can also pop off the auto shots and auto attacks on both of these guys simultaneously. And that is the true hybrid style. That is the hybrid DPS style that we honed in Darkshore Mythic. Which is, well, it's a lot of fun. It's all about the positioning, all about the timing. And we're gonna keep doing it for a little while longer. Because we're almost 37, we're just 1 bar away. And our paladin has been with us this entire time. He's already dinged, but he's waiting for us to ding. And we're very, very close. We're so close to our final, to the final thingy. To the ding. The ding that we need to ding. 37. For the Monstrous War Axe, Broken Tooth. For Savage Strikes, 2 of 2. And of course, for the Ravager. So let's, that was a little bit lucky. Let's get the multi-shot off right here. And bring our pet up for the next target. We can help our paladin out behind us in the meantime, and our pet will now have aggro on that mob. We can send it up ahead. Go on, pet. Go on, Viramu. Fetch the next mob, and I will aim shot this thing and scatter shot that, and I'll bring them all in close. I'll bring them all in good and close. A good concussive shot will make sure that those other guys can catch up. We'll toggle Cheetah off and get off the dead zone shot. Or maybe that was the Raptor Strike crit, I'm not sure. It might have been a multi-sync, it might have been a dead zone shot. Or sorry, it might have been a multi-sync dead zone shot, or it might have been the Raptor Strike. It was kind of hard to see at that moment there. And this is why you want the floating combat text, so that you can see what exactly causes what damage. I just popped off the wing clip there, and our pet does have some aggro on it, but we gotta finish that one off first, because that one's chasing us, and this one is chasing our pet. And these guys are all in just the perfect position for the multi-sync. I fire on the 2 in the back just in case, because if I was wrong about the range, it'll hit 2 targets instead of just 1. So we got another dead zone shot off right here. That's always good. And let's finish these guys off with a little bit more melee range hybrid memes. So there we go. One more smack will do it. We can move on in this time. I got a growl off on this guy, and our pet has already dealt a little bit of damage. So we can follow along with him, and he'll follow along with our pet. This is a demented conga line of death and prizes. So hang on. There we go. That was the perfect time for the multi-sync, and we're able to get them all where we need him to be. My dragon gun is almost off cooldown, so we're certainly going to want to make use of it very soon. Let's try about that right now. Now that we're all good and mana'd up, I'm just gonna drop that explosive trap right there. I had to draw my pet back for the sake of dropping the trap. And now that we've got all 4 of these guys hooked up, let's bring them all good and close before bringing them at once into the trap. Well, come on there. Thank you. Move just a little bit further, and there we go. One more little multi-shot on that guy over there will ensure the dead zone shot, and then we can finish these guys off with the dragon gun, which is dealing amazing AoE damage, as you can see. We love it very, very much. Our pet, in the meantime, has gone on to grab another mob over here, and we can bring these guys back towards us. Remember, your pet is an extension of yourself. It's your positioning tool. It's good for your positioning. That's exactly what aggro is all about. And one growl can counter your sustained damage, but expect to pull aggro if you use burst damage or a distracting shot. Distracting shot cancels out growl. Burst damage cancels out growl. Sustained damage is what growl counters. And we do want to balance these counters with each other in order to make the most use of our pet, of our positioning, and all that stuff. We've got one mob over here, but it's kind of out of the way, so we want to move on to the next mob. I did get a growl on that off screen because I was watching it on my bars when it came in range. And now our pet can flap on down towards the next mob that we wanted to go towards. That was another ranged melee attack, which is really unfortunate. But you know, the vertical recognition is always going to be a meme. They're in just the right spot for the multi-sync. Did miss that one time, but we can get a good wing clip off on that guy and cheetah away while we attack the next target. Our pet can go help us out here, and we can tap this guy, tap him. How about we tap this guy, and we'll shoot that guy. And then we'll finish these guys off with a little bit of burst and cleave. How about that? You know how that one goes, though. We gotta finish this up, you know? We are already quite over time. So let's focus on Dinging 37, achieving our dreams, making our memes a reality. Don't let your memes be dreams. So we're on about the last pull here, just about. We're at like 100% HP. Let's get a good multi-sync off on these 3. And let's tap these guys and get aggro on one more. I'm gonna pop off the just enough thread on that one to get it over there, and we're gonna get it just in range for the 3 target multi-sync. We're gonna bring all these guys back just about in range for the explosive trap, and then we're gonna keep them. We're just gonna dip them in the explosive trap and then keep them in the consecration if we can help it. I'm gonna feign these guys off, and I'm gonna pop off the multi-shot. Gotta feign them off just for the multi-shot because, well, that's how it had to go. we were too close for the multi-shot on all 4. They were all clustered up. We might have used the dragon gun, but I felt like using another multi-shot. So heck you if you disagree. I'm gonna use the death ray to finish this guy off. Smite. Oh, okay. How about a Raptor Strike? Parry. White swing. Ding. And we've done it. We've dinged to 37. We did it, fam. All right, folks. Well, that's today's grind. We're gonna equip our monstrous war axe to the monkey, and I'm gonna get on taming that broken tooth, which I already did off screen. But you know, I'm going to get onto it after finishing this grind, which I already did. Never mind. Anyway, before we go tonight, there was a bit of news that came to my attention, and I do want to bring it to everyone else's too. There was a Grandmaster Hearthstone player from Hong Kong, Blitzchung, who was banned recently for a whole year and had his rightfully won prize money confiscated because he voiced support for the people of Hong Kong. If I have the details correct, that's what happened. Now, I know Blizzard, Activision, and Tencent have their policies and need to appease the Chinese government to keep in business on the Chinese market, but I'm going to throw in my 2 cents anyway. This is bogus. I want to send some support Blitzchung's way. I want to spread the word about what happened, and I want to say that he's in the right in voicing his support for his own people. We are all better free and in peril than safe and enslaved. From one patriot to all those overseas, we're rooting for you guys to be able to speak your mind without consequences, and of course not to be extradited to mainland China by the end of this. And I pray with all my heart that the conflict comes to a peaceful end soon. That's all I wanted to say. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. I don't need to tell you, but I'll say that if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate you spreading the word about it too. Drop a like, share it, comment, check the description for more information and links, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.